which she cannot have. And in this can, we have some Zukes, which she can have. So the idea here is that Zoe is learning to ignore the leave it treat. So every time she sniffs it and then looks away, I treat her with the treat she can have. So the concept is that she's going to learn to ignore the leave it treat. So here I am starting to move my hand around a little bit, and every time I put it in a new location, I'm basically having to start over with the concept. So as I get lower to the ground, the treat becomes a little more interesting to her. So I'm going to make sure to keep my hand closed every time she goes for it, just so that she doesn't accidentally grab it from me. And once I get to the floor, it definitely gets a little more tricky and challenging. When food falls on the floor, most dogs will go straight for it. It's basically a free-for-all. So the idea here is that I am letting her know this food is still mine, even though it's on the floor, and I'm going to reward her as soon as she ignores it. So now that she understands that I don't want her to touch this leave it item, I'm going to add the word. So I'm going to point, say leave it, and reward her as soon as she looks away. She's distracted by the treats behind my back there. Show her the cookies. Leave it. Good girl. Reward. And we're going to wrap up on that note because she did great. So we took about a 30-minute break and moved around the house, went outside for a bathroom break, came back, and we're starting again. Not as hard as it was the first time we started, but we still have to reinforce the leave it before we can put this on the floor. So I'm just putting it into her space and reminding her what it is that I want by rewarding her when she leaves my hand with the leave it item alone. Now I'm going to use my body to make sure that I block it once it's on the floor. So she's still having a little hard time figuring out what it is I'm trying to get her to do. Once she sees these cookies though, she realizes, oh, there's food. So I really want to make sure that I'm not letting her have that food, using my foot to reinforce the leave it. And then I'm going to continue to reward her every time that she ignores it. And I'm always going to make sure that my body is in between her and the leave it treat, just in case she goes for it. I want to be able to block it. So now I'm going to start to add some distance between myself and the treat that's on the floor there. I want to claim the space around the treat as mine. I want her to respect that this space on the floor, even where the food is, belongs to me. So see how I'm using my body to kind of move her back a little bit. I can use the word back when I walk into her, but at this point I just want her to move away from the food. I want her to understand this is my space and she's going to get rewarded for staying away from it. So this is our last session for the day. We did 3 sessions and each one lasted about 10 minutes. We took a little bit of a longer break in between sessions this time. I wanted her to really have a chance to think about what we had done and absorb the information. I don't want to overstimulate her from doing too much training too quickly. So she got the concept right away. When I put the treat on the floor, she understood immediately what the game was and she didn't go after it. I'm going to continue to use my body a little bit in this session. You'll see I'm just asking her to give me space. I want her to really understand that just because something is on the floor doesn't mean it belongs to her. And we will use something different next time for training. So today it's cookies. I want her to understand with me using my body only that this is mine. I'm kind of claiming it every time I step over it. And next time we'll use something different and I'm going to do the exact same technique. So the idea is just that by using my body, I'm not being forceful, I'm not being, I want to always remain positive, and again, not using any negative words, just letting her know this is my space and I want you to back up.
I'll leave it. Yes, good girl.
So she's understanding completely what I'm asking for her to do.
Yes.
It's time for us to wrap it up, and I'm going to give her lots of loving, and we're going to go for a fun walk, and she'll be done. She should be pretty tired.